Apparently, extreme misogyny will now be classed as terrorism in the UK. I am not making this up, this is actually happening. So I want to bring you to this article from the Daily Mail. Misogyny will be classed as extremism under Yvette Cooper's plan to fight young men's radicalization. Extreme misogyny will be treated as extremism for the first time to combat the radicalization of young men online, according to reports. So these young men, these people of the public, if they hold the views of, say, for example, Andrew Tate or even Carl Benjamin, Sargon of Akkad, they will be viewed as someone that is anti-government or simply a view that isn't good, anti-agenda. And in doing so, they will end up on a terrorist watch list probably. I'm not kidding, this is actually happening. Government plans will look to tackle violence against women and girls in the same way as Islamist and far-right extremism, amid fears that current Home Office guidance is too narrow. The upcoming change is part of a review ordered by the Home Secretary, Yvette Cooper, in Britain's counter-extremism strategy to address gaps in the government's stance. It comes after warnings that misogynistic influencers such as Andrew Tate are radicalizing teenage boys online. They don't have any proof of this though. Where is the evidence of him radicalizing teenage boys? Is it simply that he holds views that are not in the government's favor that makes him an enemy of the state? Is that it? The rapid review will be completed later this autumn and will form the basis of a new counter-extremism strategy, which the Home Office intends to launch early next year. So this isn't actually happening right now, but it is a potential plan that will go into effect. The government said that the scheme will look across the ideological spectrum and address gaps in the current system, which leave the country exposed to hateful activity that promotes violence or undermines democracy. Yeah, this is democracy manifest right here. You can't think freely. That would be terrorism, of course. The Home Office currently has several extremism categories ranked as an area of concern, including Islamist, extreme right-wing, animal rights, environmental, and Northern Ireland-related extremism. There is a category for incel, which is which is an abbreviation of the term involuntary celibate, which refers to a male subculture of violent feelings towards women as a result of rejection. This isn't only a male subculture, is it? Do we call them femcels if it's actually female subculture as well? I believe that. But officials now fear that the category does not capture other forms of extreme misogyny, according to the Sunday Telegraph. Of course not. Of course not. Andrew Tate is the biggest problem the UK faces right now, probably, right? So I want to bring you to this post actually from Tristan Tate. Make no mistakes, this entire new law, which will waste the time of the whole government, is nothing but an attempt to unjustly jail Robert Tate, or simply silence him. I think that's more relevant. Matrix attack, he says. Women aren't safe if men can pretend to be them. Women aren't safe if migrants cross the channel. F UK Labour, he says. And this is completely true. In what world is a woman safer if men are allowed into their private spaces, female-only spaces? There isn't a single place where that actually is safer for them. Women aren't safe if migrants cross the channel. Illegal immigrants crossing the channel on small boats, entering the country illegally, isn't safe for anyone. But females aren't safe nonetheless, right? It doesn't matter. Nobody's going to be safer if illegal immigrants cross the channel. But, I mean, females are very prone to be attacked by these people as well. So, I mean, it's kind of a really interesting plan because they're not addressing actual issues in the country, just addressing stuff that they don't like, rather. And I want to bring it to this other post by Jordan Peterson, really. Who defines extremism? Who defines misogyny? Wait, let me guess. Demented leftist, radical, and compassionate cluster B woman. And he's right about this. They will keep it, intentionally vague as to just to make this law as broad as possible, this new plan. So they can jail anyone they really just don't like, that is despise, that are anti-agenda. That is the entire plan. And it is very smart to keep it as vague as possible so that they can bend it to their own needs. So I want to bring you to the definition of terrorism. This is right now, this is probably going to change in a while, right? The unlawful use of violence and intimidation, especially against civilians in the pursuit of political aims. Now, for example, if I were to hold a different perspective on terrorism, say, for example, I think that terrorism is only, say, for example, Islamists and people shouting Allah Akbar while shooting up some public places, such as a park or a bank or something. Is that something that will hold me accountable under this, according this terrorism plan? Am I going to be a terrorist for talking about actual terrorists? I find it kind of ironic, because if I have this misogynistic view of what is a terrorist, am I not a terrorist as well then? Is that it? Or simply, if I have a understanding of why monkeypox is spreading and what is the root cause of it being usually male to male sexual contact, or simply homosexual men, is usually very prevalent when it comes to that disease. If I point that out along with the Pride month that was a month ago now, if I point that out, that it's kind of funny that they're correlating that much, right? They are so close to each other. Am I a terrorist as well? If I point that out, is that misogynistic enough for me to be extremist and be held as a terrorist? If I hold views that homosexual men spreading monkeypox right after the Pride Month isn't just a coincidence, it is a fact that usually happens. Like, am I a terrorist now? I don't know. So I believe that people would be held under this Terrorism Act 2000 Schedule 7. This is in the UK only, so provides police officers with unique powers to examine people who pass through the United Kingdom's borders. Now, they used this act on Tom Robinson, I believe, and they wanted to check his phone. And if you don't actually give the password to them, you will be arrested because you're obstructing the law. People will probably have more powers to use this act when this plan is taken into effect, when it comes to effect. I believe that this is going to get a lot worse, isn't it? They're going to use this on a lot of more people. So I want to end this with this, right? Breaking. Nearly 500 migrants crossed the channel in small boats on Saturday, the Home Office has said. Now, if I were to label these people as potential terrorists, am I a terrorist? If I were to label them as illegal immigrants who are going to do some horrible things to the public, we need to kick them out, they don't belong here, am I labeled a terrorist? I do not know, because they keep it intentionally vague. But I guess we'll just have to see, right? Just see what happens. It's going to come into effect next year, so I guess we'll have to see. I think I'll just leave it there. Leave a like, subscribe, share this. It does really help me if you share this. And I'll see you in the next video, probably coming up later today. See ya.